Major funding for this program was provided by
work is around 600,000.
Mantua community of West Philadelphia.
That I had to tell about my community and my people.
People are saying, I'm here, I'm alive, I exist.
Today, in America, we are a people sitting outside the gates. When you're outside the gate, the problems are grim. And you don't know what to do. Don't just sit there and complain and find fault with what people have done to you. But get up and do something about your problem.
Opening day was pivotal. It was people seated all out on the parking lot. Dignitaries were here. That day was just a big day in not just North Philadelphia, but in Philadelphia, period. People were here to congratulate and commend Dr. Sullivan for the opening of the first urban shopping center owned and operated by blacks.
I was here when it opened. That day I was here. My parents brought me up in 1968 and actually had an opportunity to shake hands with Reverend Sullivan, who was in the crowd with many, many people from the neighborhood, Yorktown and Jefferson Manor, and all over the city.
I think what the Progress Plaza did was teach us that we could do it.
The power of the collective. It was a collaboration. We started off, with the church, right? With other people wanting to become shareholders and invest. There was public-private partnerships, right? With the Ford Foundation and General Motors, right? And so the reason why the power of the collective is so important because that was part of our origin.
One could say that Progress Plaza is a byproduct of the selective patronage campaign. 3 young men in South Philadelphia got in trouble. And somehow Dr. Sullivan learned that they had too much time on their hands, didn't have any jobs. That kind of had a ripple effect, if you would, because they didn't have jobs because nobody would hire them. He wanted us to be able to say, if I can't work there, I won't patronize you. And that was the essence of selective patronage.
Plaza was built in 1968. And the 1036 concept came along like 62, 64. Bill Bounds and Mabel Wellborn and Marilyn, they worked in that office collecting 1036 money.
Both of my parents joined, so they are shareholders in the project of Sullivan Progress Plaza. I'm passionate about Sullivan Progress Plaza because of their passion.
Now the 1036 plan at that time was you would send $10 a month for 36 months. We had to struggle, we had to sacrifice to give up, but his plan was so needed, and we as members of the church wanted to help as much as we could. We had to start somewhere, and it started with us
We built it ourselves, 6,000 of us, put $10 down for 36 months to build this Progress Plaza, shopping centers, housing developments, and some factories around. Ducky Burks here is himself a businessman that started with small resources, but has proven that the community will support black entrepreneurs. So the setting is not something we had to borrow. Didn't have to ask somebody if we could come in. This is our own. So that has a psychological impact also.
It's the work that Reverend Sullivan did to help create the collective economic approach to it, so that we may not be a millionaire, but I got resources that I can go to seek assistance and provide help. Even the microenterprise funds now, and even the crowdfunding, it's the same thing, except that the technology has allowed them to go further now. And at that time, in the 70s, under President Richard Nixon, there was an organization called MBDA, Minority Business Development Authority, and it funded organizations like Entrepreneurial Development Training Center to provide training to entrepreneurs. We had a training center in there.
We put you to work. And if you go to work, you don't have to stay up at night getting into trouble. You got to get up so you can go to work in the morning. The best program against crime is work. Put a man or a woman to work. Work, jobs, jobs, jobs.
The one thing that he was adamant about, and he said it every time we met, Brother Whitlock, I want a supermarket on Progress Plaza.
I was about 10 years old in 1968 when the plaza was first opened. I shopped here because this is where the C bus would bring you. Then I got old enough to drive. I thought that you get better bargains, better opportunities outside of the community.
When the supermarket shut down, that was the only market we had in the area. And by it closing, it was almost like the plaza had closed. This part of history had closed, our part of history. We didn't have a place to get fresh food, to shop. This supermarket in Progress Plaza was special because it was a part of history. We had to save it at all costs.
My name is Shantae Stern. I work at the Progress Plaza Fresh Gruesome. During the evening, most of the staff are minors. What I mean by minors, they started out like this is like their first job.
All right, my name is Shaquan Carroll. I'm 24 years old now. Got the job when I was 17. My dad helped me get the job because he wanted me to stay out of trouble. They seen that I was real good on the register, so they had me move up to be like a front-end runner. Then when I turned 18, they moved me to bookkeeping. I want to work at a bank to be a bookkeeper.
My name is Latoya Ross, and I am the manager of Trend Eye Care 2. So one of my biggest success stories is the fact that 40% of my staff is formerly incarcerated. They tend not to get another chance. Some of them never had a job before. And I'm a very, very tough trainer. And I believe that if you want a second chance, I'm willing to give it to you, but you're gonna work for it.
I grew up coming to this plaza as a kid. When we see our peers, maybe family members, it's a pleasant surprise for them to see us. It does take a lot of hard work. It doesn't happen overnight. A lot of dedication, a lot of sacrifices. Just know that if you commit to some of those requirements, you could do some good.
One of the things that enhances Black economic empowerment is a community that's aware of the importance of Black economic empowerment and participates actively in its development. The greater Yorktown community has been an ardent, ferocious, helpful supporter of our efforts here.
It became the anchor to Yorktown homes. Yorktown was our Levittown.
I actually grew up in North Philadelphia, and when you look back to it, That is where the roots come from. Big money had came into North Philadelphia. Then we were able to get housing done. Yeah, we were able to get quite a bit.
We're on our way, and we're going to get there. The door of free enterprise is cracked down, but we're going to push and push until it's wide open. And we're not going to stop until 25 million black people across this country have black pride, knowing that what a white man can do, a black man can do too. And we're going to prove that we can do it by the kinds of things being demonstrated here in Philadelphia.
Week after week, black people earn money and go outside of the community and spend it. Progress Plaza here now allows us to shop in the community and get good stuff.
When people realize that positive efforts are being made, not by others to help them, but by efforts of themselves to help and develop their own community, I think that they will see more hope.
Primarily, my role was aiding in capturing some of the research material to talk about the story of the Sullivan Progress Plaza. I was the original author of the nomination for the historic marker that was approved for Sullivan Progress Plaza. So I had some awareness of, the history. Currently on the board of the Leon A. Sullivan Charitable Trust. We are one of the several entities established by Reverend Leon A. Sullivan, and Sullivan Progress Plaza is another one of those entities. I am also a member, grew up in Zion Baptist Church. So again, that's a connection.
I too am a member of Zion Baptist Church. I am chairman of the trustee board presently. My father, the late Elmer Young Jr., was the project manager for the development of Progress Plaza. And once it opened, he became the manager, the first manager of Progress Plaza. In fact, we believe that he was the first black manager of a shopping center in all of America. As part of the Sullivan legacy, this being, again, the first shopping center in America owned by black folks, it's important to maintain that type of legacy. It's important for people to know what has been done by black people. So anytime that we can boost up the legacy of the Lion, I call Reverend Sullivan the Lion, we try to do so.
It's still standing, and even amidst different challenges over the years, but to be the first and to still survive through that, we can provide this example to the community today on ways that if you're working together, you can still succeed.
What better opportunity, while celebrating the 100th birthday of the Lion, to bring out for everyone all of the things that he was responsible for, Progress Plaza being one.
Anytime you hear Reverend Sullivan, it should make you think about, wow, why can't we do that now? Which is what you hear a lot in the community about when they hear about some of the things that was taking place in the 60s and 70s.
This was a social significant project, and you don't even understand it necessarily when you're in it. It takes time to understand the significance of what you've done, what you've participated in. So we want that excitement to be transferred to the younger generation, and hopefully they'll be able to create memories and excitement of their own.